So what happens when you think up a project with someone who you feel you can really work with? This stuff costs money.
Yes.
And how would you advise young artists to go about commissioning? You mentioned commissions. How do you do it?
Well, a lot of the commissions that I've had that worked out, that are successful, they revolve around relationships, and I think everything is about relationships. It's, as an artist, it's your relationship to your art, it's your relationship to the audience, it's your relationship to the people who present your work, and to other artists. And the people that present your work are very important, and they're also, again, they're human beings, they're friends, they're not just colleagues. And getting to know and developing a trust around that is, in the end, we're just a bunch of people trying to make it. I have relied upon the relationships that I've built, both with donors and with presenters, to be there when an interesting project comes along. And when you have somebody else who shares the project, you have double the connections too. Yeah. And sometimes there's crossover. There are so many things you can do. There are so many people that want to be some part of the creative process, and whether that's giving money or helping organize, or just being someone who puts it out there and gives you names of other people that they think would be interested. Knowing who is interested in what you're doing and wants to help is a very important part of getting anything done, especially that involves money.
Do you plan and ask beforehand? Do you think about who you're going to approach for different projects, or there must be some kind of plan you have in place?
Absolutely. I haven't done that much asking myself, but I've tended to be very lucky to have people around me who help with that, and very supportive, some of them donors themselves, or supporters who will help rally for a particular cause, and have a lot of energy. And I mean, that's another great kind of relationship. I'm thinking in particular of one couple in Seattle that are kind of like family to me, and they're so energetic, and when I have something that's coming up that I know that they would be interested in, because they're not interested, I think, in everything except peripherally. But there are some things that I know that they would be extra passionate about. Then I go and I talk to them, and we brainstorm about who else in our circle and in their circle and in my circle we can work together to bring to the table. And that's been incredibly useful as someone who in school got no training in this sort of things, to have connections with people who are used to this. That's something that's, I don't know if I would be where I am now without people like that, and in particular with this couple. Asking for money can be a very daunting prospect, but something that I've learned over the years is that, again, relationships. If you know somebody very well and you know what they're interested in, then it's much easier to approach them. You wouldn't bother approaching with somebody with a project you know they wouldn't like. But if you know that somebody would be very passionate about something, you can always go and ask them for their help, their advice, and the least that you'll get is great advice.